Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Who Asked Me podcast. I am so excited because we have a first time guest, but somebody that I love, love, love consuming all of their content across the board, Miss Tahira Foster.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, so gorgeous. If y'all do not follow
Oh my
her, you
God.
need to. Fashion, makeup, reality TV, all of the things, all of the things.
Yeah.
I mean, and she, if you're not watching on YouTube, she looks so gorgeous right now.
Thank you.
Can I
Pull
tell
this
you?
together for you. Hello.
I wanted to get up and get ready today, but I have an event later, so I was like,
Yeah.
I gotta save it. But can I tell you, you make me want to try nude lips. I am really not a nude lip girly. I like
Hey.
my mauves and my like
Yeah.
pinky nudes, but
Yeah.
every time you do one, and I'm brown liner across the board, right? So we
Hmm.
see each other there. But
It's a
every
staple.
time you do the nude, I'm like, okay. I think I can do it. And then
You can
I
do it.
put it on and I'm like,
Maybe you're going too nude. You need a peach base. Like that's
yeah.
like my favorite. The peach base nude
Mm.
on the brown skin. It's gonna
Hmm.
eat every time. It's gonna eat every time.
Like I'm looking at yours now and I'm just like, wow, I
I'm
I
telling
think I
you.
need to try a
You
nude.
have to try the peach nude. Everyone gets so caught up in the pinky nude, but the
Hmm.
peach is really where it's at. If you want to switch it up, go with the peach.
I love the way it looks on you and I'm
Yeah,
like, I think I can do it.
absolutely.
But when I put it on myself, I will say the last time I put on like a peachy nude,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, first of all, it was a matte.
Okay.
So I'm not
Yeah,
really a
I'm like
matte
really,
girl.
I'm a glossy girl. You could start
So
with the
my
matte because this
hmm
is actually a matte from like
Okay.
Charlotte Tilbury, but I always go with
Mhm.
a gloss on top because I
So
like
do
that
I.
shine.
Hmm.
But don't go too pale. I feel like sometimes the girls go too pale with the peach and then you
Hmm.
start to feel like a ghost. But no, get that rich undertone
You
of
know
peach.
what? You know what it is? It was giving me flashbacks of like 2016, 17 when I put
Hmm.
it on. So I think I was shocked at first. But
Yes,
then when I put a gloss on top of it, I was like, okay. But I think my issue was the matte. I used to be a matte girl
me too.
down. I was a liquid lipstick. I was matte everything and I was not into gloss.
Yeah,
Now I am straight lip liner, lip gloss girl or
yeah.
straight up satin
Well, now
lipstick.
I feel like they make the gloss with pigment now. Back in the
Hmm.
day, the pigments were so like you had to do like a matte lipstick first, but now the glosses all have color, so you can really get away with just a liner and a gloss these days.
You really can. And that's like
Yeah.
more so what I'm leaning to, which is completely opposite of what I used to be into. My favorite nude lipstick like of all time, which is discontinued now because she closed the
Oh,
company,
yeah.
is I'm a Cancer by Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
That one with the brown liner on brown girls. Oh my God. She did
yeah.
her thing
Jacqueline
there.
really did her. Even when she did the collab with Becca, like she had
Hmm.
that highlighter that we were all using. Like she really
Hmm.
had covered a lot of bases back then. She don't get enough credit, but when she
She
was really holding it down back then
she
for the
was.
brown girls, she really had us included. I'm telling you, she made the products for everybody. She really did.
Her liquid lipsticks, even like the latest, I think, I don't know when she closed that company. It
Oh,
was
water.
semi recently. So,
Yeah,
like, because I remember I bought them in store when I lived in North Carolina, and that
yeah.
was like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. So I bought them then. Those liquid lipsticks, she made one of my favorite, like, fall time red auburns as well.
Okay,
And I
yeah.
cannot find anything else like that.
They probably everything probably went on eBay, and now it's probably
Hmm.
it's so sad. But yeah, she used to hold it down. Her
She
products were
did.
amazing. Yeah,
She
she
did.
really did.
But yes, if you are not looking at Tahira's makeup videos, you must, you must. But I'm so happy to have you here today. We are
Yeah.
going to get into a few things. First things first, the internet is mad at Keke Palmer yet again. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, Keke Palmer's production company, Key TV, has released a trailer for a film that Cordell from Love Island is in, and so is Choice Brown, about a South Asian girl who was adopted by Black people, and all she knows is Black culture, and she is going to an HBCU.
Wow. What a
I
plot. What a plot.
It is a
Yeah.
plot, and just to be clear, the writer of this story is Black. I just think that I don't know. How do you feel about it? I briefly told you about it before we hopped
Yeah.
on. How do you feel about it?
I think it really depends on the intention. What's the
Hmm.
intention with the film? Are we trying to merge cultures?
Hmm.
Are we what is the point? I really want to know. Like for you saw the trailer. So like
Hmm.
what were they trying to give? It's just really just about her life experience. Is she going to be trying to reconnect with her Asian side since she was like where did it what is the I want to know what is the point?
I think that for me, it did not give that. Okay.
Oh,
It gave
okay.
that, all her black family was telling her just, be who you are, be who you grew up, how we raised you to be. And I think that in a time where we've had the conversation of appropriation
Hmm.
and, there is a history of Asians saying the N word
Yeah.
and, you
That is
know, being racist and appropriating black culture, but not appreciating black culture, right? So I think the story being centered around that. Okay,
yeah.
now I don't think the girl's gonna say the N-word, right? And
No.
that
Oh my
was not that would be too much.
no.
But I think that I agree because some of the arguments are everybody's story deserves to be told, and I'm like, yeah, for sure. I don't think it wasn't said that this was based around a true story. It just said
Right.
that this
Right. This
was
is just a screenplay. This is not
exactly.
right.
And I took a lot of creative writing classes. I actually was that was my like passion when I was growing up. So I understand creating stories and letting your mind wander.
Yeah.
Sometimes some of those stories need to stay in the
Your mind
journal.
in your journal, in your scraps.
Yeah. So
Yeah. I think it's gonna be really about what was the point. Is it an appreciation for Black culture that she grew around, that she grew up around, and her
Mhm.
love for the culture and inclusivity? Like, if that's what we're trying to say from an Asian perspective, I think it could be interesting. But if
Mhm.
it's just about her being immersed in the culture and feeling Black, I think we're gonna have some problems.
Yes, I agree. And I also think that Keke getting on because they were eating her up on Twitter
Yeah,
apparently. I'm not on Twitter anymore. I had to exit stage left, but apparently that it was bad over there on Twitter for her. And then the fact that she got online and she just kind of gave a rundown of who's on her roster and who she's keeping employed and telling black stories, it did not help anything. And
yeah,
what I realized is that Keke Palmer has been in show business for most of her life.
30 years, her whole life.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
everybody's like, oh, this is giving PR. Obviously, you're not, it would be bad if Keke just hopped online and told y'all to shut the fuck up.
yeah,
Like, she shouldn't do that. However, I think that we have now seen that with Keke, when it came to her interviewing Jonathan Majors, when it came to her interviewing Offset, the week of Cardi B's album release and things like that, Keke sees things differently than the rest of us.
yeah,
She sees them from a marketing side. She sees them from an entertainment side.
yeah.
Because while the audience and the world may see these people that are quote unquote canceled or problematic or anything like that, on the inside of the celebrity, those people they're still kicking it. And,
100%.
so I
Did
think,
Jonathan Major just get his role back at Marvel or something? Like, I think he's actually coming back. I
oh,
feel
is
like I
he?
read that. I read that he like. I think in the next installment, you know how Hollywood is.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, it's very, very fickle. You could do something, you
Mm-hmm.
can be canceled. They can
Mm-hmm.
strip endorsements, strip all your press. You just have to go in a corner and hide, and
Mm-hmm.
they will bring you back out. Like especially if you're talented and
Yep.
like he literally got canceled at the height of his career.
He did.
Like he must have had so many things in the works.
Mm-hmm.
And he's come out and he got a wife now, also in the business, whatever. It's just like I understand where she is as a business person. I think
Mm-hmm.
people forget that Keke is running a business.
She
Like,
is.
yes, she's Keke from the block. We love Keke and she's a
Mm-hmm.
great actress and she's done a lot of things, but at the end of the day, to keep this machine going,
Mm-hmm.
there has to be controversy. The timing of Offset's like interview release is because of Cardi. It's all in like that's how you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna get clicks. That's how you're gonna get dragged.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you're gonna get praised. Like it's her business, guys. Like
It is. In the name of this podcast game, look, I mean, obviously I'm not on the scale of Keke Palmer at all. I've been doing this by myself for 4 years. It's a
yeah,
lot. When, of course, people love your podcast
yeah,
when it's chill,
of
right?
course.
When it's comforting and everything like that. There is a question to be posed of how long can you just have a chill podcast where nothing You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Especially being an entertainer.
Yeah.
How long can you? They're always going to have a controversial figure.
Of
They're
course.
always because that's how you get the clicks. That's how you get all the things. You know, I was not a fan of Huda on Love Island.
Yeah.
When Alex Cooper interviewed her on Call Her Daddy,
Of
I
course.
think within the first hour and a half, I tried to listen to it so I could recap it for people. That thing
Yeah.
is 2 hours in time. I said, no, I have to do something else.
Yeah.
I think in the first hour and a half, it had already had close to 1 million.
Yeah. It's a business.
It
It's
is.
a business. And the controversy is gonna drive the clicks. It's gonna drive your name. It's gonna like she's found a way to be
Hmm.
in the press
Yeah.
without necessarily doing something outside of
Hmm.
like her job. You know, so
Exactly. Well, and I also think that I always say we live in such an extreme time.
yeah.
Is this something where I'm never going to consume Kiki's content again? I'm unfollowing her. No, it's not for me.
Yeah.
Right? It's one of those things where it's just like, okay, watch it or don't. Be like,
Yeah.
ooh, I don't know about that one, girl.
And then
I
that's your love. You know, like
exactly.
it's Kiki knows what she's doing. Just
It
anytime she knows what she's doing, guys.
yeah,
30 years plus.
it's one of
People
those
don't
things what
have
yeah.
longevity like that for no reason.
Hmm.
She's pivoted so many times and she's gonna continue to excel. Yeah, I don't like the movie's gonna come out.
It is.
Like so
Yeah,
yeah, we'll see
it's
what happens.
watch it or don't, listen
Yeah.
to her podcast or don't. I don't think it's one of those things where she should never work again and she
Yeah.
needs to be canceled or she needs to issue an apology. I think I
Yeah.
like seeing, some reasons why I like some of this is because it does spark such conversation
Yeah.
within the culture that I
100%.
think could be
Which I
had.
also feel like is part of the strategy,
Hmm.
right? Like you have to get people talking. There's so much media. There's so much media to consume. You
Hmm.
have to get people talking, whether it's good or bad, and it can lead to other conversations. So
Exactly.
I think she did her job, guys. I'm
I
sorry.
I would agree. I think she did her job. Am I going to watch the movie? No, I'm
Yeah.
not. But I do think that she did her job, and then
Where is it
keep.
coming on? What is it?
Oh, girl, not in
Like on
theaters.
like in Tubi. Where is it coming on? We don't know.
It's so Key TV is like her thing. I
Okay,
don't know if that's like its own. I don't know,
got it.
but like a Tubi,
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah,
Okay,
something like
cool.
that. Right. Okay, so that's all I had for pop culture. We are going to shift into Housewives. The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City are firing on all
Uh,
cylinders. So week after week, they are giving us the content. First things first, Lisa Barlow is losing her mind in these
unhinged.
TikTok streets.
Yeah.
She is in the oddest comment sections of
Is she?
videos, yes, of videos with like such small views going off on people. She told one creator that she's about to see why she keeps 7 lawyers on retainer because that she is saying that she's what the girl was saying was defamation. And I was like, Lisa, it's not defamation. Everybody is
It
wondering.
is an opinion.
She had $100 bills in cash in her hand in the store while arguing with Heather. We are
Was it six?
housewives.
I thought it was like $3,600. I thought she was holding like $5,000 just to pay for two t-shirts. I was very confused why she had all this money.
Okay, let me say this. It could have been more. I counted six. I was
Got
like
it.
one. When she was moving all around, I was like
Yeah, she was
one,
doing a lot.
two, three, four. I counted six, but it
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
was more because
yeah.
$600 bills is like this, right? Like,
God,
but it was
like
a lot of money.
a stack of cash to pay for these shirts. I was so
In this
confused.
boutique, like, don't get me
Yeah,
wrong, like definitely boutique stores and stuff, they can be expensive, but
yeah,
it
of
gave
course.
like basics and stuff, and they did
Yeah,
not have. She didn't have a lot. Like she didn't.
didn't have a. She had two hangers in her hand. I
Yeah.
was I was confused. But to me, I will say that store scene.
Mhm.
It was epic. It was
It
legendary. I mean, they are screaming. Lisa's trying to pay. Heather's practically behind the register to be like, I need you to take a look. I need you to. I think she thought she was going there to meet Heather and they were going to rag on Angie together.
uh-huh.
And I think she was caught off guard when Heather was like, well, you're not nice. And you are also provoking her. I think that threw her for a
I do
loop.
too. I do
Like,
too.
He's like, wait, what? What are you saying to me? And I think that really, I don't know for her, didn't she start to cry by the
Yes,
shirt?
she did. She did. And that's my thing with Lisa. I was like, you are crying so
She's
easily right
crying a
now.
lot. She's crying a
And
lot.
I've said before, I don't think what's going on with Lisa is like so out of the ordinary
Yeah,
or that. And because at first I was like, you know what? God forbid, is she sick or something? Or is somebody
yeah.
not well? Because, a lot of times when people have those big reactions like that, I'm like, oh my God, I hope like no one.
This is what I'm saying. We've gone from Lisa being an ice queen to
Mhm.
crying every episode at a blink. And so I don't think what she's giving us is the complete truth. This
Exactly.
idea of her and John having
Mm-hmm.
miscommunications and not being, I think something deeper happened with her and John
Mm.
that I don't think she wants to bring completely to the forefront. So she'll just say we're not on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
We're miscommunicating because to me, like you said, like what they're going through, that is normal relationship things, long-term relationship things.
Mm-hmm.
People grow. Sometimes they grow in different directions. You want to
Mm-hmm.
stay together. But the way she is having this crying, I think there has been some type of betrayal that she
Mm.
doesn't want to bring, of course, to camera. She doesn't want to damage John's reputation. She loves John. I believe that
Me
100%.
too.
But there's something that is triggering her that has her in tears constantly. Like, and I don't think we'll ever find out. I don't think she'll ever really lay it all out there for us.
I
I don't
don't
think.
either. But you know what I also think, and I find this interesting. Now more than ever, these men slash the spouses, people connected to the women on this show,
Yeah,
are more vocal about not being happy with
yeah,
what comes with it. The reputation, the kind of, and I wouldn't be surprised because John is still a practicing Mormon. Like he is
yeah.
still, because he was the one that was born into Mormonism and she converted for him. I wouldn't be
Oh,
surprised
I didn't
after
realize that.
last year
Okay.
when they got into it with the roses and John and Lisa kind of rolled up on them. I wouldn't be surprised, like in their scene, if they kind of had like a little bit of like, ooh, backlash. Lisa is so terrified of not looking perfect. The
Mhm.
reason why I don't know if it's that deep is because I find Lisa to be one of the most shallow people I have ever seen on these shows.
That
And
is
I would be so interested to see what her parents' relationship was like and what
yeah.
she saw growing up because she said this past week like I'm in the car crying on the phone with my dad that's like who and I know and I don't think Lisa has any brothers. I think it's all girls, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of them though, like six
Something
sisters,
like
like
that.
that. Yeah.
So I would not be surprised if she's just a spoiled. I don't know. But
Hmm.
then I'm like, how did you see your parents resolve conflict? Like, what is their relationship like? Because she is so worried. I cannot wrap my mind around her having these big reactions, crying like this. And it's just some basic
Yeah.
relationship,
It's
long-term marriage of
strange.
her and John.
It's real. Her reaction is so strange to me, especially because we've just seen her, like you said, keep it together and act like everything's been perfect for so long. The crying every episode, I'm like, I don't know.
And don't get me wrong, I've been through a divorce before. There is a humiliation part. It really is. Like I
Yeah.
said, this, I've never understood people saying like they feel like they failed in a divorce until I was there because even though I've moved on now and stuff, it's like a scarlet letter. It does. It's
Yeah.
like a public, like I failed at this. So I totally understand. But all of these pictures of her and John everywhere on the yacht, at the
Oh my God.
basketball game, I'm like, this is you trying to remind yourself or like,
Yeah. That you
it's
guys like have a great life. Which is like, yes, Lisa, we know you have a great life. We know your guys are successful. There's something else there's something happening here. Like you said, are you trying to remind yourself that you guys have a great life?
mm-hmm.
And she always says, like, John is my person. John is my
Yeah,
best friend. And I believe that.
I do
That's I
too.
feel like something has happened that like really broke her trust with John. And I think
Hmm.
they're trying to rebuild it and trying to just do like we're not communicating. I think the trust was broken. That's what that reaction gives me anytime someone even says something remotely. And I also saw her do the same thing recently. You
Hmm.
saw them have that was it the Us Weekly cover? They did like the
Yeah.
Desperate Housewives,
Hmm.
whatever. I saw them do an interview, and the interviewer, and that's something they recently filmed. Okay, the
Hmm.
show was probably filmed a year ago.
Yeah.
So the fact that they recently filmed this cover, and she's in the interview, and they're like, we see you touch on problems with John, and she's like, oh my God, I'm gonna cry again. It's like, wait, What's happened? Yes, if you look at the behind the scenes, who was it in style? What cover is
Us
that?
Weekly, Us Weekly.
If you go to, I guess maybe Us Weekly
Hmm.
socials or whatever, they all had like a one-on-one interview, and Lisa's still crying, guys, at the mention of problems with John. I'm telling you, there's some,
Interesting.
and that's recently, and this show was filmed months ago. So there's
Interesting.
something there. There's something deeper than just two people like growing apart. There's something else there that has her triggered up and
I want I if it is the business side, because
yeah,
again, the money finances can cause such a
100%.
stress on relationships to where, like, again, I was married, that was a big problem for us, to where I was like, I think if he cheated on me, I could be able to deal with this
Yeah, the money
more
thing.
than this
Yeah,
the money situation right now. But I'm like, Lisa, so she is going off on people, and but again, Lisa, we
that's
are
crazy.
housewives. We saw Teresa pay for $25,000 worth of furniture in all cash, and then she went to jail. You should
Exactly.
know. I think Lisa is a person who has watched Housewives, who has studied Housewives. You
Yeah.
should have known better than to show up with that cash. But she said she had it for a tip,
Oh, did she?
and then she,
Who was she tipping that much?
exactly. I said, I've had many and plenty of retail jobs. I don't think I've received like $5 before from somebody being
Yeah,
like, thank you for shopping with me.
a
Not
tip.
hundreds.
Wow. Unless you're like moving houses, why would you have so much tips? I don't really understand. That is
Exactly.
strange. That was a really strange amount of cash to pull out for a
Yeah.
little shopping scene. That was crazy.
Well, then she also said, I just wanted to buy a gift for Heather. And we're like, you couldn't do it on your card. I personally think she did. She had the cash because she's being accused of using somebody else's credit card.
She is.
I think they don't want, she doesn't want them zooming in and being
No more
like,
charges.
this was used. You know, we know how Wendy is caught up right now.
Don't start
Okay.
talking about Dr. Wendy. That really hurts me.
It hurts me too. And
It
we'll
hurts
get
me.
there. We'll get
Yeah.
there. But we see how Wendy is caught up right now. They said that they saw her wearing some of the items that were reported stolen on the show. So that's immediately, as soon as I saw that cash, I said, yeah. But the conversation in the store with Heather, listen, I have been hard on Heather for
Yeah.
like a year and some change because she has been really disappointing me.
Yeah.
I was proud of her in that store.
I was proud of
And
her.
the way Lisa sees things, that is my thing. I know a lot of people are like, oh, people keep accusing Lisa of being messy, but not Wendy, Whitney is the one bringing up stories as well. I'm like, it's not the bringing up stories,
Yeah.
honestly, truly. Lisa is incapable of apologizing and moving forward. Even that conversation with Bronwyn had to be like, listen,
Let's
let's,
call it, let's call a draw.
yeah.
Let's cool it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, yeah, I'm willing to do it. No, Lisa, I think that's why Heather, I think, went so hard, because I
Mm-hmm.
think when she spoke to Angie was like, yes, I went crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is why I went crazy, but I would like to do X, Y, and Z. Lisa
Mm-hmm.
was telling her, like, I didn't do anything. All I did was defend myself. And it's like, no, you brought up the soup man.
And then she admitted that it wasn't true.
I just picked
That's
that up.
what doesn't help Lisa, because Heather said, "Who is Soup Man?" She was like, "Suit Man," and then she's like, "It's not anybody. I just said it." I'm
I
like,
just said it because she accused me of cheating
Lisa.
on my husband. It's like, when did she accuse you of cheating on your husband? Number one, and number two, you just are like Heather said, she's just throwing things out there. Like, doesn't matter if it's true or not. It's just like, Lisa, this is why people have a problem with you, and this is why
Yeah,
Angie was so irate, because you literally tried to ruin her reputation for like, you're not even saying things that are real.
it literally. And I have to ask you, okay, because I'm not a mother.
Yeah,
I I don't think what Angie said about the hair paste or whatever
yeah,
was truly that bad because of Lisa coming for Angie's business.
yeah.
Do
I
you,
think
and you have
I
sons
don't
as
think it
well?
was that
Yeah.
bad. I don't think it
Okay.
was that bad. I think the whole Angie, I also felt, was like caught off guard,
Yeah.
because she's just like, wait, you're trying to dog my business of how many years, when as a friend I took in your son's business. I don't. Angie has access to every shampoo and conditioner in the
Yeah.
world,
Yeah.
right? So she was being a friend by
Mm-hmm.
taking in the products, trying to push it to
Mm-hmm.
her clients or whatever. And now you want to turn around and throw that in my face about my business. So I don't think Angie really said anything crazy. She was just really saying, like, I helped you out. Now
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna sit here and dog me and talk about how many businesses I actually own. Like, I don't think she was. It was not a personal dig at her son at
Thank
all.
you. That's how
It
I
was
felt as well.
purely like Angie being caught off guard that you're gonna try to like. I've been in business for 20 years, and now you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna try to act like I'm some small time, only one salon, whatever. When you needed a salon to put your son's product in, and I took it.
Exactly. And not only that, even if Angie just bought into the franchise, kind of like Mia and Potomac with the
Yeah,
joint, that is still commendable and you are still a business owner.
100%.
However, that's not it. Angie is the house. Angie is the creator
Yeah.
of the
Her and
franchise.
her husband are, I think Angie is probably one of the richest ones
Yeah.
on in Salt Lake City. Like, let's
Yeah.
don't play with her. Okay.
Uh-uh.
That's why she
Uh-uh.
came with the 4 black cards. She said, let me explain something to you.
Mm-hmm.
All those women never even seen a black card. Okay. Heather was
That
like, I've never seen
bracelet,
one in person. The Prada bracelet, listen, Angie's on a different level. Stop. She was just trying to say, don't play with me, Lisa.
exactly.
That
And
was her way of saying, don't play with me. Yeah.
I think for me also is that is clearly not, yes, her son is like the face of
Yeah.
it. That's not her son's business.
Yeah.
It's clearly Lisa and John's,
Yeah.
right?
But they
And
don't even care about anymore, which
they
is what these
don't.
people do. They start a
It
business,
is.
they'll promote it for 6 months. It doesn't make them any money. They go on to the
Mm-hmm.
next business. So I think that really hurt Angie's feeling at the
Mm-hmm.
table. And she was like, don't let me go get these products out the base.
Mm-hmm. Unlike, and Meredith is like, no kids, no kids. I'm like, unlike Meredith's kids who are older, Brooks Marks projects are his own. Like those
Yeah.
are his mom may help him obviously
Yeah,
in
of
a way,
course.
but
Yeah.
those are his own
Are they
projects.
around? Is he still doing the sweatshirts? Is he still doing the fashion? This is what I'm saying. It's not a dig. It's not a
No,
dig.
I
It's
don't
great to
know.
be an entrepreneur. It's great to try something. Not everything is gonna,
Mm-hmm.
they're young. And I think Lisa's kids are like 18 or
Yeah,
12.
yeah.
Come on. It's not a big deal. Like that was
It's
not like
th-
digging at the kids. Angie was not digging at the kids. Like
that was
cut it
my
out.
takeaway too, but I'm not a parent, so I wanted to ask somebody who is a parent because I was like, I saw it the exact same way you did. You cannot, absolutely not ask me for a favor business
Yeah.
wise
Because
as a
it's a
friend
favor.
and then
It is a favor.
try and throw my business under the bus.
You
Like
call the salon
absolutely
done?
not.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. And listen, those I was a hairdresser, okay?
Yeah. Of
Angie is doing quite well for herself, but
course.
exactly. Angie was she made her round too. She spoke to Mary, she spoke to Heather. She was like,
Yeah.
I'm really not happy with my behavior. I don't like being taken there.
Yeah.
Like Lisa came immediately with that'll be nice for Angie because she's never been on a boat before.
Outrageous.
Okay. I don't care if somebody's not been on a boat. I don't like being on boats,
Yeah.
right? And
Not
then,
everybody's a boat person. And how do we know Angie's never been on a boat?
right.
Please, like you're just saying things to say things to be mean. And
That's
it's
my
like,
thing.
yeah,
And that
yeah.
she is such like you can tell she has sisters. You can tell she has sisters.
100%.
And then it
100%.
kills me because then she says she in her confessional she talks about Heather and she's like Heather started with me before and we flash back to season 1 where Heather's like why would you say that I was a good time girl? I would have been that would have been against honor code. And she's
Yeah,
like
I would be
she went
down.
against me. I'm like Lisa, you are literally saying like how dare you be mad about what I said about you?
Yeah. That's how she feels. She feels justified in every response that she gives. And I think like Meredith had said something like, "Oh, we forget about why Heather." Like I think was she defending Lisa?
Yes.
I think she was just like, "Yeah, you guys, yeah, she said that, but Angie said this first," and it's like, yeah. It doesn't make it okay. Like I don't really understand. And if Angie's bringing up lawsuits, real facts,
Yeah.
and asking questions, how do we get to now the soup man? How, like,
Yeah.
and they're calling each other shorty. I'm taller than you. Like that fight was
Woo.
so crazy.
I was dying. And even like Meredith is killing me because she's like, I have a bad history with Angie. You don't have a good history with Lisa
No, I don't
either.
know what Meredith is on this season. She's to me not giving anything. It's just giving alliance. And
It
it's like
is.
it's giving blind loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
And she's not really engaging. She doesn't really
Mm-mm.
have anything to contribute. And I don't know what's going on with Meredith. Even when her and Heather were talking, it was like Meredith was like, well, I believe Lisa. You could believe Angie, but I believe Lisa. And it's like, you believe Lisa. She dogged you more, I think, than anyone else on this show. And it's okay to recover and forgive somebody, but
Yeah.
the blind loyalty is it's getting a little weird to me with Meredith.
Well, I'm like, Meredith, you just had a problem with Angie near in the future or near in the past than you did
Yeah,
with Lisa.
exactly.
But really, truly, Lisa and Meredith finally just got past their thing and we're like, okay, we're going to move on last season. And I don't
Yeah,
know what conversation was had behind doors, but they need to unhave it.
yeah,
Okay. Because it is, I do think, I remember seeing those rumors about Bronwyn online. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm very tuned into like obviously the Bravo like content creator world.
yeah.
They were coming from pages that are very big Lisa stans. That
Ooh,
like,
okay,
yeah,
okay. I
and
mean, she touched on that. She did touch on that.
they
Yeah.
were this one creator. I had to block this one creator because she was going insane. She was saying the most off the cuff things about Bronwyn that I
Ooh,
was like, okay, this is like too far. This
ooh.
is too much.
Yeah,
It's not, we are not in this. Like, you are not in this. And I
yeah,
guess Bronwyn had like messaged her, which I would have done the same thing,
yeah.
defending herself. And she blasted the messages everywhere. And it was just like, hey,
Ooh,
you are talking about these people. I think at any point when you are a content creator and you talk about these shows, you do
yeah.
have to be ready for these people to be like,
Respond.
yeah,
Yeah, they're real people. Just
yeah,
because
they
they're on
are.
television doesn't mean they're not real people, guys. And they will not jump in your comment section. Well, apparently,
Exactly.
Lisa's up.
Listen, I'm not team baby gorgeous. And
Yeah.
when I let my opinions fly about her, I do. I'm shocked she has not been in my comment section yelling at me.
Listen, it's
I'm
still
not
early.
going to engage with
I
her.
think you got about 6 more episodes, girl. You
I don't want her in my comment section. I do not want to engage with her,
Yeah,
but you have to be ready for that. And when the
yeah,
content creator was like going off about Bronwyn, and again, I read the messages. Bronwyn was like, "Please let me explain. Like, I don't
yeah,
appreciate you like saying all of this because it is really damning.
yeah.
It is really damning. I think we know that Bronwyn has had a hard past, and she went through
Oh,
a
okay.
lot.
Well, okay. So that I want to say, I didn't know about the headline things that came out last
Mm-hmm.
episode. So seeing it was like, wait, what? And then her explanation was very like it was dismissed and then it was closed and I can't talk about it. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, okay. But it was 10 years ago, still, it was still when you were, that means you were still a grown ass woman. So it's not like something from your childhood. So like,
No, how old is Bron? I think Bronwyn's like 36, isn't she?
okay, so she was about 26 when this
26,
happened.
yeah.
Okay. It's interesting, but everyone has a past. But like dismissed and closed, and now it's coming out. Of course, it's definitely one of the women. I can tell you because they
Yeah.
love to dig, 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 dig. And yeah, that's why I don't really believe when Lisa's like, let's make a truce. Lisa, I think Lisa wanted that truce with Rowan because she got ate up at that cocktail party
Oh,
and
yeah.
she really couldn't recover. And if the recovery was like, let me make up with Bronwyn, and then
Mm-hmm.
next thing hold this lunch with the poster boards, you're not making a good case.
Lisa does not, she's not sneaky either
Yeah,
because that's what kills me. I'm like, Lisa, you get on. Somebody said she argues like Trump. And I said, you really do because
one
you
hundred
can't
percent.
stay off Twitter. She
Yeah,
literally does nothing for herself because she gets online and does all of this stuff. She compared Bronwyn to Jen Shaw on Twitter. I remember seeing that and I was like, because I still had my Twitter back then, I
yeah.
was like, oh, girl, what?
Oh
I
God.
was like, oh my God, please stop this madness. And
Yeah,
then she's like, how dare you compare me to Jen Shaw? I wouldn't do that to my worst enemy. I'm like, you literally did.
but you did it. Yeah.
Okay. And so she was going off on Twitter about a lot of things with Bronwyn, and then all this stuff comes up. So I'm like, Lisa, you don't do yourself any
Yeah,
favors.
it's very easy for people to believe. Heather's like, yeah, no, I believe it's her. Like, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the person that's supposed to be your friend. And I listen, Heather was Team Lisa last season.
She
Okay,
was.
she was writing for Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my thing with Heather. I've always loved Heather from the beginning, but she has been proven to be a flip flopper. So it's like, Heather, what is it? Not that you have to pick sides, but
Mm-hmm.
last year she was blindly loyal to Lisa, and she was really pissing me off last year because it's
Me
like,
too.
Heather, come on now. You could call your friend out, but this year I guess
Mm-hmm.
she got the feedback, she got the memo, she called her friend out, and that's not going to land well with Lisa because Lisa needs blind loyalty to
She
be friends with her,
does. She
no
does.
matter what.
Well, and so a lot of people are like, Whitney is the one that brought these, issues up on camera, the Bronwyn files and everything. I'm like, well, here's my thing. Somebody does have to bring them up. Like,
100%.
I'm wondering if Bronwyn actually goes on that trip on the boat because Todd ain't having it. So I'm
God,
also
God,
wondering,
God.
I have seen a lot of I've seen a lot of things about, the sealed, the NDAs, when she says she can't talk about it. And obviously it was just one little snippet at the ass
Yeah,
end of the episode. So there's more coming. People
of
are
course.
digging so into it. I'm like, y'all, there's more coming. We just need to like wait and see what it says.
Yeah,
But I think I wouldn't be surprised if something happened because Todd does work in finance.
yeah,
And they said at the end, one thing that I picked up on was that he cannot have anything or anyone attached to him that is a financial risk
yeah.
and has financial crimes. So I'm wondering, like, when she's like, there's an NDA and I can't talk about it, if when her and Todd got together, if
Yes,
he
assigned. Got
if
it sealed.
he had
100%.
something sealed and he put things in place
Yeah.
that it would never come out to
No.
protect himself, right?
This is the thing. I think Todd gets a lot of heat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Clearly does not enjoy filming. Okay.
Right.
But in that conversation, I don't think he was wrong.
I don't either.
We not only I feel Todd feels like you don't need to be doing the show. I'm
Mm-hmm.
letting you do the show because you
Mm-hmm.
want some type of notoriety. We are financially stable. Like this show for a lot of people, I think is their reason of
Mm-hmm.
you know, as far as like Heather and like Whitney, like they
Mm-hmm.
need the show.
Yep.
Okay. There's people that need the show. I think Todd feels like you don't need this.
Yep.
We have a life. I
Mm-hmm.
take care of you. We are financially stable. You don't
Mm-hmm.
need this. And every time I'm with these women or you come home, you're upset.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't see the point outside of Bronwyn wanting to be famous. He doesn't see the point. And the fact that maybe she kind of told him what it would be, and now he's seeing that it's something else. Now they're
Yeah.
bringing up your dirt. They're talking about your daughter.
Mm-hmm.
You're fighting all the time. They're bringing out this side of you that I never see. Of course, he's like, why are you doing this? And why are
Yeah.
you going to go on a trip with these women? They're just going to, in his world, bring her down. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't think he was wrong with having major concerns and
I
also
don't
say,
either.
if you go, I don't want to hear about it when you get back. I don't want to hear about it.
I think so. Todd really threw me off taking that cherry off that ice cream.
Outrageous.
I was mad about
In
that.
one ear, out the other. Like Todd said, listen, I'm gonna have that cherry. I know you don't like it. You just told me you don't like it, but I've been taking your cherry for 20 years. I'm gonna take this cherry.
I was like, okay,
That was
that was a
crazy.
lie. And then he also said verbatim, like, I don't care. And
Yeah.
I think I'm so torn with Todd because when he took that cherry in that conversation at the ice cream shop, I was like, oh, fuck him. I was
Yeah.
like, fuck this, fuck him.
100%.
But I kind of was on Todd's side last year with some of the stuff that he was saying to Bronwyn. And then at the
100%.
end, I said, Todd does care about Bronwyn. He cares about
100%.
Bronwyn
I
down.
think Todd will never forgive Lisa
Mm-hmm,
for
mm-mm,
bringing up the stepdaughters, like
mm-hmm,
with her biological father.
mm-hmm.
I think Todd feels a lot of betrayal.
Yep.
And yes, Bronwyn is here to film a show, right? So she has
Mm-hmm,
to move forward. She has to move on. But Todd doesn't have to. And you can't convince him
mm-mm,
that you're being uplifted or appreciated. There's some people that don't get over things like that. And
mm-hmm.
he will never, ever get over that thing that happened with her daughter's father's family. Like she
Yeah.
will not. The fact that they use it as ammunition. I don't even think Todd cares about the $4 million necklace. Like that stuff, he's
No.
just like, it's the thing with the daughter.
Yeah.
And that can and will affect her reputation, which inevitably will affect his reputation.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I also think that maybe because Lisa and Bronwyn knew each other before, I
Yeah.
think it was one of those things where Todd was probably always a little bit irritated by Lisa, but he only had to deal with her in small doses, or they went to
Probably
girls'
social
lunch.
settings. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
cool,
so,
yeah.
but then now she is like really apart. When he said God would not piss on Lisa's head if it was on fire, my mouth,
No.
I
He'll
said,
never
he
forgive
cannot
her.
stand that woman.
He cannot. He will never forgive her. He wants nothing to do with that woman. He wants
I
nothing to do
said,
with that.
oh, he hates her. And that's a nasty read. Let me tell you
Yeah.
something. I hope no one has ever said that about me.
I
Okay.
hope not. I would
I,
cry.
I,
I would actually cry. And like, no, Todd is done with Lisa. And I think Brahman trying to be friends with her
mhm,
or be civil with her probably
mhm.
irritates him down. He's
Yes,
like,
I
cut
think
her
so
off.
too.
Yeah.
But I think that Bronwyn ultimately does the show because learning more about Bronwyn, her mom being on the show, learning about their past,
Oh,
I
Muzzy.
think she does it.
Muzzy.
She has something to prove. Bronwyn wants to prove herself, like that she can stand on her own and she can do something and be
Yeah.
successful. And I think this is what Housewives is for her. I actually
Yeah.
don't think it's about the money. I don't think it's about anything like that. I just think that she wants to
She wants
prove to
something
her.
of her own. Yeah,
Hmm.
I think so. I think
Yeah,
so.
because with
Now
Gwen,
losing her mom, for
mhm,
sure. For
yeah.
sure.
With
Yeah.
Gwen, she's proud of Gwen. She loves her daughter, but it's always riddled with this shit from her parents because
Yeah.
they were in the Mormon church and how she was conceived and everything like that.
Yeah.
So, and like with her where she lives, Todd, her mom is like, you wouldn't have this without Todd. So, and I think that's just something nasty to say, but I'd be interested to see if she
You
goes
thought
on
that
this
was the
boat.
worst thing when she was just like, yeah, and you wouldn't give her up for
No,
adoption.
that was bad. That was actually that was the worst thing. I was like, don't talk to me. Once I have this baby and tell you I'm keeping it, don't talk to me about adoption.
That is, it was and something like, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't even have the baby. She's just like, yeah, you watched the baby while I went to work. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Muzzy is
No, that was bad.
I hope you don't see Muzzy again for the season.
Me
I
too.
can't take another conversation with Muzzy. She's
Me
holding on
too.
to a lot of resentment there, and she needs to get out of Bronwyn's house. Buy her a condo, but
Hmm.
Muzzy has to get out of your house, Bronwyn. I'm sorry.
For me, I think the worst thing she said was when she was like, Gwen would have ended up in foster care had I
Yes,
not watched her. I was
I
like,
know. If I didn't babysit your grand, like, yeah, yeah, it was. She's an interesting person.
I said, we're jumping to foster.
Gwen is a whole 19, and she's been here for 19 years. I think we could let it go. But
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay, Muzzy.
exactly, exactly. But that's all in Salt Lake City. We're gonna touch on Potomac really quickly. So, have you seen the latest Wendy news?
I have.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Um, Wendy is asking for her charges to be separate from Eddie's, right? Or like
Oh,
her,
okay. No, I
like,
haven't seen that. I just saw
yeah,
the initial press conference statement. Okay, so there's been an update. She wants
yeah,
them separated.
yeah. She wants, and I mean, like, I think she wants things separated, and it's not giving that Wendy and Eddie are on the same page.
Really?
It's so on one hand, I do commend Wendy and Eddie for keeping it tight-lipped. I
Yeah.
think a lot of times people get into these situations and they talk too quickly.
Right. Right.
We really still don't know what's going on.
Right.
And then she also said is accusing them of an illegal arrest.
Okay.
So I'm still not sure what that means, but I'm like,
I
okay,
think
things
an
are
illegal
happening.
arrest. I think were they arrested at their home?
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah.
think they have to, like, if they came inside,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's illegal. They have to, like, be stepping outside.
Yeah.
So if they came inside, that could be something.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that she wants the charges separate, I think is very smart. It's really
Mm-hmm.
giving Teresa Joe back in the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we have to separate. We each have to take responsibility for our part in it, but it can't
Mm-hmm.
be the same part. And they have my whole thing with them. They have three small kids.
Yes.
And to me, Eddie gives me the feeling that he'll do a bit. He could let me do the time and keep my wife out here,
Uh-huh.
raise these kids. Let's separate these charges. I think that has to be the mentality. They both can't be facing the same
Right.
thing. They don't want
Mm-hmm.
to both be facing the same amount of time. So
Mm-hmm.
that makes a lot of sense. And the evidence that they gave, it was really technically Eddie asking her to do certain things,
Yep.
So I can understand why they need separate charges for hopefully separate punishments if
Exactly.
it comes down the pipeline for sure.
That's what I was saying as well, because the whole reason Teresa and Joe didn't go to jail at the same time was because they had small kids.
Yeah.
So I am hoping again that I'm hoping that we can get this sorted out.
Yeah, 100%.
Wendy is
And
having
I
a
always
great
remember
season.
Joe saying, like, he pleaded to certain things because they told him, I guess his lawyers told him,
Mm-hmm.
Teresa wouldn't get any time. And
Mm-hmm.
then when Teresa got her year, he was just like, that wasn't the deal or whatever the case may be. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, it could be that type of situation. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully it's a year and under, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I'm still hoping for a misunderstanding. I'm still hoping for the best lawyers possible,
Mm-hmm.
and hopefully they can say they got bad advice. I don't really know how you, like, file three separate insurance policies on one item or whatever that. I'm not really sure how that works.
I'm not either.
But let's hope it's a misunderstanding. Please.
Again, I am impressed at how tight-lipped this has all
Yeah.
been, but I'm on the edge of my seat. But with that
Okay.
being said, I'm watching Potomac with because Wendy's not arguing with people about fraud. She is not arguing with people about money. She is arguing
100
with people about sense. I don't know what the hell is wrong with Kiana. Beautiful girl, beautiful gowns. First things
beautiful
first,
girl.
she argues like Greg. So last year
Oh, that's so interesting.
she was
Yes.
pouting to us about, oh, Greg doesn't listen to me, da 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 da. And then when Wendy was like, well, I feel XYZ, she said false. And I said,
How can what? And she's just like, I'm just telling you how I feel.
I said, how's somebody gonna tell you how they feel and you say false?
This fight with Kay, I feel like is also catching Wendy off guard.
I think so
Because it's
too.
like I think they probably went into the seasons as friends. They saw each other a bunch of times when they weren't filming.
Mm-hmm.
And here you come like your energy is not the same with me. And I'm just like, Wendy's probably like, I'm telling you, when they were by that river or whatever, and even after they're giving each other the middle finger, Wendy's trying to hustle
Laughing.
because Wendy, I truly think Wendy thought like this is the stupidest fight. Like she
I agree.
had such big fights on the show, and
Mm-hmm.
you trying to fight me because I didn't say hi to you at an event or I didn't tell you I was going. It's really giving joy. It is
while I was speaking, while I was on stage speaking,
like,
but
my friend, I would acknowledge you, huh?
while you're on stage speaking,
I don't know. It's
but
really weird.
here's my thing. Okay. And you tell me how you feel about this because what I'm still getting parts of this did you do your own makeup thing.
Okay.
You can make it sound like did you do your own makeup?
Yeah.
But when Wendy said she wasn't sure if she was coming because her kids were sick,
Yeah.
we all know that they all like travel with glam. They're in LA,
Yeah.
blah, blah. So Wendy shows up. Part of Kay's problem was like, oh, you didn't tell me you were coming. She's like, my kids were sick. I see you at this event. You're like, oh, you look gorgeous. Did you do your own makeup or
Yeah.
what? Or did because maybe she was looking for glam. Maybe everybody's like, come on now. I'm like, no, like in the mind
really
of
depends on the tone.
it does.
It's all in the tone because, like you said, it could be like, girl, you did your own makeup, or it could be, did you do your own, like exactly what you said. It really clearly Kay took it as a dig.
Mm-hmm.
But Wendy really could not. It could go either way. It could go either way. And I think she was even surprised that she even brought that up because I don't think she meant it as a dig. But I don't know. The things I really feel she's grasping at strong. Mm-hmm. But I think this is what it is. I think Kay had a bad season last year.
Mm-hmm.
As far as, you know, the whole Greg situation, he made her look like a fool.
Mm-hmm.
I really feel like, and I think this season, which is terrible, but if you want that airtime,
mm-hmm.
if you want to be standing in the middle of a cast photo, mm-hmm. you have to make a splash. And I think she is trying to change the narrative. Mm-hmm. I think we're going to see Greg, but we're not going to see him a lot. Mm-hmm. And he's picking these fights. Now she got a problem with Wendy over something so silly. She has this problem with Stacey over what really, because Stacey is Miss QVC, it bothers her. I don't really know. Like it's really, I don't know. And she brought her best friend on this season. So I think that gave her some time. I think anytime you bring a friend, you feel like, all right, production likes me. Mm-hmm. They asked me to bring a friend. It's going to be a good season for me. But I don't know if that's how it's playing out. She looks very bitter.
She does.
It looks strange.
Okay, so that leads me, speaking of Angel. Angel used to work for BET. Mm-hmm. Kiana says these little things. Like you have to, I feel like Kiana's one of those people that she accuses everybody else of being weird. She takes me such back to like a college place of like, you know, the friend group in college where you're like, she's always like, oh, what you said was shady. And it's like, no, actually you are the one.
Yeah.
So on Watch What Happens Live, Andy, I can't remember exactly what Andy asked her, but she said, well, you know, Angel was on BET and she like had her time. And now she's coming on. It was kind of like the sense of like Angel has been on TV before and she had her time. Now it's my time and she's coming on. That's how I picked it up.
Right.
And I was like, I was very, very thrown off by, I have to go back and see exactly what she said. But because to me, bringing up Angel being on BET was not relevant. I was
is that where they met? Was the reason behind the question?
No.
That's not where they met.
No, they met in college.
They met in college. Okay.
Or something like, or they're all from DC. She's those who are from the DC area, from what I
Yeah.
understand.
Okay.
They
Okay.
ran around with each other when they were younger because I also peeped the pictures in the club and saw that.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
but
Exactly.
I feel like, and you tell me how you feel. People are like, oh, Kiana's letting Wendy get her in an argument with her friend of 20 years. I said, no. If my friend of 20 years, who I know outside of this, says something like somebody tells me that they said chin check, and then they tell me, no, I didn't say that. And then they come back to me and say, actually, she's saying I did say it, so I did say it. And then
Yeah.
they call me because she called her once the cameras were down and said,
Yeah.
I didn't say it. And then at brunch, she says, okay, I said it. My friend of 20 years, I am looking at you like the craziest of all. I am looking at you like,
Okay.
are you okay?
So I think you're missing a phone call. So I
Oh,
think
really?
Angel left that store,
Uh-huh.
called Kay.
Uh-huh.
Kay said, okay, yeah, I did say it. And they're going to bring it up at this lunch. And I think that's where the alliance came. Because, like Wendy said, the energy was very different. And Angel's
Mm-hmm.
like, well, 2 days have passed. In those 2 days, her and Kay had a conversation. And
Mm-hmm.
Kay told her, of course, I don't know. Kay was like, okay, well, when we get to the lunch, these girls are going to bring it up and
Mm-hmm.
we need to stay united. And I'm sure she apologized to her. So when she
Mm.
revealed at the table, I did say it, da 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 da, and Angel pretty much had no reaction.
She did,
Angel's
yeah.
like, she's just like, yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. It's because they already talked about it, and that's like when Wendy's
Mm.
like, your energy is so different, Kay. Like, what happened? Like, I mean, so different, Angel.
Mm-hmm.
What happened? Like, she's like, well, it's been 2 days, and let's use what did she say? Let's use our emotional skills or something
Yeah,
like
emotional intelligence.
all it's showing in the words of Giselle, if she didn't say chin check before, then she's saying chin check right now. Because
Uh-huh.
you're pretty much telling her you have no reaction.
Yeah.
You told these people in the store if she said it, it would be a big problem. Now
Mm-hmm.
she's admitting it, and for you, it's like it's okay, I forgive her. Yeah, because there's a conversation once again that we did not see.
Okay. Okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
There's something we did not see because Angel's reaction was no reaction, and it was Kay was very quick to say like, yeah, okay, guys, let's once and for all. I said it. Yeah, girl, you said it. The camera was rolling,
Yeah,
and
we
you
know.
admit to saying, what are you talking about? You
Yeah.
already admitted. Yeah, you called after her event and said I didn't say it, and then
Mm-hmm.
she went to that store. And you were like, okay, girl, I did say it, but you're my friend of 20 years. This
Mm-hmm.
is my show. I brought you on. We need to be united. Don't let these
Mm-hmm.
women come and try to get in between us. And then Angel's bringing all the heat to Wendy, which was very bizarre
It
because
was.
they were, Tia and Giselle was just co-signing. And you're like, why is there no heat for these two? It's all on Wendy.
Exactly.
And that's what made me feel like it was like when he said these pre-rehearsed lines
Mm-hmm.
and this tension, this energy, this heat that you're giving me. A week ago, you were asking if Kay checked on my kids when I told her my kids were sick and I wasn't coming. You
Mm-hmm.
had a problem with the fact that she didn't check on my kids. And now all of a sudden, I have a problem with you. No, girl, you can't have a problem with me. Your friend
Yep.
has a problem with me. And here you are trying to do her dirty work. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
like that. And I
I
don't
didn't
like
either.
when the scenes feel so overly produced. We
Uh-huh.
know Giselle thinks she's a producer. We know
Mm-hmm.
Giselle thinks she can produce the show.
Mm-hmm.
But it just felt very fake, very phony, very rehearsed.
Speaking of the production, so one thing that is irritating me is when we have to explain, when I say we, I mean, the girls have to
Yeah.
explain to the new girls, which Ashley kind of did. And while I'm happy that Ashley said that, I'm like, no, see, this should be, you want to talk about emotional intelligence,
Yeah.
Angel. The last time we saw you, and Ashley is saying this, the last time the group saw you, which is AKA the last time the cameras were up, you
Yeah.
said it's going to be a big issue.
Yeah.
And then now the cameras are up again
Mm-hmm.
and and you're acting completely different. We are confused. What she's telling her is the audience is going to be confused too.
Yeah.
That's
100%.
what she's telling
It
her
doesn't make
without
sense.
telling her.
Yeah.
And I think it's clear I think it's clear to everybody except for Angel what Kiana is doing. She
Yeah.
keeps talking to her when cameras are down.
Yeah.
And Kiana is not seasoned enough in this show, in this reality TV game, to be trying to coach a new person.
Yeah.
So,
I think she just feels that way because it's her friend. And so she's
mm-hmm,
like, I'm bringing you on here.
mm-hmm,
I'm inviting you onto my platform.
right.
And you need to have my back.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's the energy.
Well,
Don't.
even when they said in the store, what did she say? When Angel, she was like, I don't know why she would say chin checked because
Of what happened
of
to
what
her.
happened.
Yeah.
When Kay was like, well, if you feeling that way, don't ever find yourself feeling that way again. I said, And I also didn't like the environment that Kay put them in her home with Greg and her
And
mom
her
sitting
mother.
on the
That was
couch.
so. What were they there for outside of backup and intimidation? I didn't get it. That was so weird. That's why when Giselle was like, "Oh, mom, you're coming with us," she was like, "No, not today." So what are you doing
Do
here?
hello?
What are y'all doing here? Outside of Greg coming to give her a stack of money. Okay, that was on cue. Great.
Exactly. Exactly.
What are
Exactly.
y'all doing here if y'all are not part of this scene? It didn't make any sense. It did not make any sense. I didn't even think Wendy was coming to the brunch, but the fact that she came and she got
Hmm.
all this tea, it was really like, okay, this is weird. This is weird.
Well, and I said Wendy came in, said hello, spoke, had a good attitude, and
Yeah.
she said my event is later. So
Yeah.
that's why, I'm here, I'm showing up, I'm trying to be, and then Kay is like, they say, "Oh, so what are we doing with this brunch here?" Well, Wendy likes to be good, better, best.
This is what I'm saying. Like, she's like, why are we being compared? You're doing a pregame. My event is the main event. What is the problem? How is that a competition? But that's another thing. Like she tried. I feel
Hmm.
like that's why Wendy, when they were by the river, she's like, "Girl, the lady of Potomac asked me to partner. You are just throwing a party. You are just
Yeah,
having a brunch. It's not the same."
it's not. And then I'm like, "Did you get that Sprinter van, Kay? Because y'all are crunched up in there."
It
And
was
oh, I was getting I was getting claustrophobic looking at. I
yeah,
cannot stand being in formal wear and then having to be like crunched up. No, I will get me an Uber
shoulder
Black. Get
shoulder. Yeah.
Yeah, get me an Uber Black. But then they want to argue in the Sprinter van,
Well, I
and
really feel like Stacy was like, what did Stacy say to Kay? I think Stacy just wanted a moment. She was just like, Kay, they just started going at it. But I don't even
Stacey
remember
is
what.
so funny to me. I
And then
could
when Wendy was like, oh, if it was my friend of 20 years and I had on a cotton dress, Angel, help your friend. That I thought was so funny.
I think at this point they're just picking at them because they made themselves look like fools at that
They did.
in general. But even when at Ashley Darby's second bloom party, when Kay was like, "Hey, hey," and Stacy said, "Hey." I said Stacy is so effortlessly funny to me.
She is effortlessly fun. That's a perfect term for Stacey.
When
Like,
she said, "Oh, are you gonna chin check me? Because I think you'd be the person to show me."
and then Ashley was like, "Oh, Stacy's going low." How is that going low?
It was
How
not.
is Stacy repeating the words back that she used to refer to her friend of 20
Hmm.
years now going low? It was really weird. Ashley wants a problem with Stacy so bad.
She
Like
does.
she wants a problem with Stacy so bad. So she's like, "Girl, are you going to check me?" I thought that was
Oh,
hilarious.
I laughed out loud. I laughed
Like,
out loud
because
at it.
are you gonna chit chat? Because that, first of all, that was a crazy thing to say.
It
And
was.
I don't know where that energy come from. And I guess Kay really came on with Karen being her number one. And I think
Mm-hmm.
Kay saw this opportunity
Mm-hmm.
of Karen not being around to rise the ranks. And
Mm-hmm.
she's really going about it, I feel like, the wrong way.
I do
Like
too.
it's really turning me off. It's like, girl, I
Yeah.
don't know.
And lastly, did you see this little like fake uh
What?
contract between it's I don't know if it's fake or not, but it's what has been presented as the contract between TJ and Stacy. And it is literally just something written on a Word document. Like it's so
Wait,
ridiculous.
who released it? TJ?
I don't know who released it. I saw it on one of the blogs, but it literally is a paragraph and it says,
Okay.
"I, comma, Stacey Roush, comma, agree to pay TJ or Thomas, whatever his full
Do
name
we
is."
have signatures at the bottom?
So it does say Stacey Roush in print, and then there's a
Okay.
signature that you cannot, I'll send it to you. You cannot, I don't know if that's Stacey's signature. I don't know whose
Yeah.
signature that is. And it's dated. Nothing proves. This is literally something typed up in
Yeah. In the
in
notepad.
documents.
Got
Yes,
it.
it is something typed up in
Ridiculous.
documents. It is not a formal legal document. It's
Do
just not.
you think she paid him?
I think that there was an arrangement.
I think there was an agreement. I don't think it was a formal agreement. I don't think
Mm-mm.
it was in writing at all, so they could keep their word document.
Mm-hmm.
I think there definitely was an arrangement. I don't think her. I think maybe her and her husband were not in a good place,
Mm-hmm.
and she didn't want to come on here single. She met this guy. They were friends. Whatever. They were in the business together, and she saw it as an opportunity. He saw it as an opportunity. But I just think there was an arrangement. And I don't
Yeah.
know if it was a dollar amount agreed upon, but the whole interaction, you could tell from the beginning there was nothing there.
Hmm.
You guys are two grown people waiting for what to be physical. Like
Yeah.
it didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense. But I think it was like that because her and her husband were having some issues, and she
Hmm.
didn't want to be physical with another person on camera. So like
Yeah.
let me bring him on as my friend, my good friend,
Hmm.
this fake interest. And but yeah, Stacey, I think Stacey's great for the show.
Yeah.
I think she's missing a screw, and
Yes.
it's wonderful TV.
I think when who would agree to give somebody half of their earnings?
It
Like
doesn't make
that's
any sense.
Stacy comes from QVC. She didn't
Yeah,
fall off the truck yesterday, right?
yeah,
She does know how these negotiations work, and I
yeah,
don't think she's stupid. I just think that it was a win-win. Like, oh, it'll put eyes back on TJ.
yeah.
When we saw him, people, of course, brought it up that he was on Sister Sister and like other things that he has acted in. So he would get more acting jobs. I don't think that there was a formal agreement. And I
100.
think I agree with you. But somebody also showed me a photo, Manny, with Mixing with Manny, shout out to her, showed me a photo of what the husband was looking like before he got on camera. And it's not like a major glow up, but it's
Okay,
definitely tweaked. They definitely
okay.
went to Saks. They definitely went to Saks and got him a
I believe
haircut.
that.
And listen, I'm not knocking it, okay?
Get camera
Before,
ready. People don't just live their life camera ready.
hello.
Okay, so these are a lot of eyes. Millions of people are going to see you. Get a stylist. Go
Exactly.
get go get a facial.
Hmm.
Present well.
Exactly.
I don't see a
Exactly.
problem.
So I
Yeah.
was like, okay, but how are you liking Potomac so far this season?
I think it's good. I like
Hmm.
it. I want there to be more substance.
Hmm.
And not necessarily like you said, the fight with Kay. It's not enough for me. I want these women to start having some fun. Everything is
Hmm.
it's a little dark right now. I think next
Yeah.
episode they'll be at the races, so that will be
Hmm.
fun. But it also feels like there's more fighting coming, and I don't know if they have. I don't know. Let's have some fun.
Yeah.
And let's try to actually be friends. I think the biggest
Hmm.
problem with some of these shows, these women don't actually like each other
Yeah.
and they're forced to film with each other.
Hmm.
And so it just feels very forced.
Yep.
I think why Salt Lake does so well is because I think these women actually like each other.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, like Mary and Angie, that's like a real friendship.
Hmm.
I think, Heather and Whitney, they knew each other for a long time. Like,
Hmm.
there's history there. So when you just throw all the women together, they have
Yeah.
nothing else to do but fight. So I think it has potential to get better, but I don't want to hear about Kay and it's not waving to me. Give me something else. I don't want to hear about Stacey's divorce, non-divorce, real divorce. I don't give me something
Hmm.
else. But I think that's what we're gonna get Monique for.
Monique.
Monique is gonna come. And also that storyline of what we're about to see with Monique's ex-husband versus Stacey. It's like, oh guys, come on.
Here's my thing. Monique is such a dark cloud to me.
Yeah,
She always has a freaking attitude now that
yeah.
I'm just like, okay, Monique, I don't think I saw her like laugh at
Or
all in that
smile.
trailer. Like,
Yeah.
and when she was on Love and Marriage DC, it's like it's always something with her and she's blaming it on somebody else. But I agree with you. I'm ready to see them have some fun. So
Let's have some fun. Please
yeah.
give us something more than just what you like fighting over this who didn't say hi to me and are you really divorced? Like give us something else. They need
E-
more.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
that's going to go ahead and wrap up this episode today. Tahira, please tell people where they can find you if you have anything to plug, all of the things.
Okay, well, I am Tahira on across every platform. I am on TikTok, I am on Instagram, I am on YouTube. That's where you can find me. Lots of content coming your way, beauty, fashion, TV. And yes, I am Tahira. Thank
Love
you
it.
so much.
And y'all already know where you can find me, Who Asked Zell on YouTube, TikTok, and then the Who
Instagram.
Asked Me podcast on Instagram. And then, of course, my personal page is Who Asked Zell as well. Of course, if you're watching on YouTube, please do not forget to like, subscribe, share, and engage. Please let us know how you are feeling in the comment section about these shows, about anything that we discussed today. And we will talk to y'all next week.
Bye.